Dear friends, in this video, we are going to learn a practical use case. It will be a complex process that I need to design using the build diagram. This is the second option. Now, if you continue with me until the end of the video, I'm pretty sure you will learn many things and you will be able to use task capture for designing complex automation process to capture the complex automation process. So that valuable this video is going to be. So let's get started. So first of all, you have to click on file new to open up a new one. And here I'm going to click on build diagram. Okay, click on build diagram. Now the moment you do this, this is how it will appear. Pretty simple. And as you want, you can change it. Okay, for example, I'm going to keep it here and I'm going to keep this here. So there are many different options are there. For example, start, I want to give a color. Let's give some maybe an yellowish color or whatever you like. Okay, I'm going to select something. That's it. Okay, that is the text color, by the way. And for this, font color, outline color, fill color. Okay, fill color. Let me start something like this maybe. Okay, so here the very first process is I will be logging into Acme System 1. Okay, log into Acme System 1. So I will write log into Acme System 1. Now you can imagine this could be some other application for you. Okay, practically it could be some other application for you. That's okay. Now let's slightly resize this. Okay, that's fine. Now after I log in, there could be two situations. What with either your login is successful or it can fail. Okay, now if the login is a failure, for example, right, the login could be failure, login could be passed. So here login to Acme system, and here I'll put a decision point. In the decision point, let's write something. So I will say what's happening, login is successful or failed, right? Login successful. Okay, you can write a question, something like this, successful question mark. Now there are two conditions. It could be yes or it could be no. Now if it is yes, you follow the next step. Now if it is no, you follow something next. So if it is a no, so this is what you will be mostly using. Okay, so it's better to learn it in detail. Now if it is no, what will you do? You will reset the password. Okay, reset the password. Now let's apply some color to this, fill color, and I will make it a little maybe amber. Okay, reset the password. And if it is successful, you will change the value here. Yes. Then what would you do? If the login is successful, then you would start your process. So let me first of all log into this particular site. So I have logged into the site. Now the very first action the business team is doing, they are clicking on the work item. Okay, and once they click on the work item, they are clicking on this button to search for anything which says WI4. So WI4 is a type, a work item type, and WI4 means generate yearly report for vendor. This is a type of work. WI4 means you have to generate a yearly report for this vendor. WI4, if you see it here, again the same thing, generate yearly report for vendor. WI3 means process vendor invoice. Process vendor invoice. You getting it? So every ID has its unique task. So WI4 is generate yearly report for vendor. So now the next thing is here, the next, once you log in, you have to search for WI4. Okay, WI4 work item type. This is my next major step I do. Now once I search for this, let's fill some color. Okay, so search for WI4 work item type. Now once you search, what is the next step the business is doing? They are fetching the tax ID, the vendor, it's a vendor information, it's a vendor tax ID. So here you have to retrieve the vendor tax ID. So the next step is, see how nicely I'm designing, and here I am going to say retrieve or get retrieve the vendor tax ID. You getting it? This is the important factor. So you have to retrieve the vendor tax ID. Now once you retrieve the vendor tax ID, next what the business team is doing, they are going to home, okay, and they are going to reports and they are clicking on download monthly report. So next is go to download monthly report, okay, open download monthly report. This is the next step. Now once they go to download monthly report, go back again, report download monthly report. Okay, so this is the step. So once they come to download monthly report, here you have to enter the vendor tax ID. So the next step is, okay, just go a little right. You can design it accordingly as you want, but here I'll say enter the vendor tax ID. So this is your next step. So look at it, how the final outlook is coming. You can resize, you can inline, later you can do it all proper way, but you can see how it is forming. Okay, now enter the vendor tax ID. So once I have entered the vendor tax ID, let me enter it here. Then I have to select the month. Okay, for example, I selected January, and then I have to type the previous month. So what I'm doing, I have to select a month and I have to select the previous year and I have to download report. Now the moment you hit on download, you can see a report got downloaded. Similar way for the entire year you have to do. So I'm clicking on February, again hitting on download. Now what is happening, when I selected February, it said no report found for this vendor for month and year that you have specified. So for February month there was no report. Okay, there was no report to download for February, but for January we got. Similar way, the bot has to continue to go for every month, January, February, March, and try to download. If it gets that pop-up message, see, it got downloaded. So I got 2 reports now. Then I'll go to April and try to download. I'm downloading all the report for the vendor. Even for April I got it. Okay, very good. Now let's go to May and try to download. I got it. Let's say I'll go to June and try to download. Okay, now I got a message, no report found. So like that, the bot has to continue to select each month and keep on downloading the files for the entire year. So what I will do, that means there is a looping kind of a thing is happening here. So how do I describe this here? So from here, now enter the vendor tax ID. Then the next step is download report for previous year from Jan to December. So this is my next step. So I have to download everything from Control G, Control Y. Okay, let me type it again. So I'll say let me delete, something went wrong, let me delete. Here click on this, so I will say download, okay, download report for the vendor for previous year from Jan to December. Okay, from previous year Jan to December I have to download. Now in this case there are 2 things can happen. What it can happen, one is the report is available or report is not available. So here I'll say report available. Now if the report is available, right, then I need to continue. If report is not available, then what I have to do, I have to click on OK and then continue. move on to the next month. Okay, so I'll say if report is available, if yes, report available, I'll put a question mark. Okay, you want to change the color of this decision box, you can do it. Fill color, let's say yellow. I'll put report available, yes. Then what I will do, report available, move to the next month. Okay, move to the next month, and then I will change, put an arrow here, and I'll connect the arrow, and I'll connect the arrow to this one. So what is happening here? So here report available, yes. Then instead of saying move to next month, what I'm thinking, let's write something like this. Let's put another decision box. Report available if your answer is yes, for example. Then you will ask the next question, is entire year report downloaded? That is the question you will ask. Is entire year report downloaded? So question mark. And this one also, let's fill some color, maybe some color. Okay, so is entire report downloaded? Now your answer is again yes or no, right? If it is no, if your answer is no, then what I want to connect this to this box. It will again continue. Okay, so now if you leave it like this, it's not working. What I'm going to do is connect it when it becomes red, right? Leave it. So your arrow is something like this. Now highlight the arrow and drag the arrow. Okay, for example, highlight it here. So I'm going to select and drag this arrow. Okay, there are multiple points I have created actually. Let me drag it. Okay, so now you can see it has dragged. So here the answer is, I will say, is the entire value downloaded? I'll say no. So here I'm saying no. Is entire year report downloaded? No. Then continue. Okay, so to accommodate the situation, what I will do, I am going to if report available is no, then you have to click on OK, right? So that I will write no. Then I will say click on OK, and then then what you do, you go and download the report. Okay, so I'm continuing like something like this. All right, so now is entire report no, then you do it. Let's say entire report got downloaded. If the answer is yes, is the entire year report downloaded? Yes. Now after that, what I have to do, so once the report has the entire report has been downloaded, so I have got multiple Excel files. For example, in the entire year you would have multiple Excel file. So let me open one of the Excel file which looks something like this. Okay, and let me open the previous Excel file as well by going here, and let me open the previous one. Okay, so what the bot supposed to do, it's supposed to copy the data and paste it and make it one single file for the entire year. So I'm copying for let's say I've got some 10 files, so from all the 10 files I'll be copying it and making it one file. Okay, so the file is 5.csv. Imagine I have saved all the data into one file. Once I do this, so let's go back to the flow, and in the flow let's write what do you say, merge all the data into a single file. This is the next task. So once you merge all the data into a single file, okay, then what you have to do next, let's say I have merged it. Okay, then I will go back to home. Look at it, I'll go back to home, and here there is something called report and upload yearly report. So I have to go and upload yearly report. So here I'll say the next task is upload yearly report. Okay, And how do you upload the yearly report? Upload yearly report. For that, you would be entering vendor tax ID, and then you would select the year, and then you would need to select this, select your file, click on open, right? So the vendor tax ID, I don't know if I still have it. If not, let me copy it from the file name. Okay, so this is the vendor ID actually. Copied. Let's go back, put the vendor ID, and then I have to, so I'm selecting that entire CSV file which has the entire year values, upload report. So if I do this, what would happen after some time? There is a ID getting generated here. So this is called the confirmation ID. After you have uploaded the report, the yearly report, then you get a confirmation ID. So here what you do, the next step is upload yearly report, right? So there are multiple steps. After you have uploaded the report, what is the next step you have to do? After uploading, you will say capture the, what is the name? Confirmation ID. Capture the confirmation ID. Now what will I do with the confirmation ID? Let us copy this confirmation ID, and I'm going to click on OK. And after getting the confirmation ID, I have to go back to the work item. Go back to the work item, and let's open that specific work item. So you have to open that work item. Okay. Give it a second. It's trying to come. So once you have opened that work item, then you have to click on update work item. So what you do, your next step is capture the confirmation ID. Your next step is open the work item. Open the work item, and then update work item, and then you have to update work item. And once you update, what you have to do, once you have update, you have to add a comment. You have to add that confirmation ID in the comment section. So you will say add the confirmation ID, add confirmation ID in comment section. And once you add and change the status to completed, the next step is change the status to completed. Change the status to completed, and then let me put it again, Control V, completed, and update work item. Then what do you do? Update work item. Work item was updated accordingly. So this is a complex, you can see that how complex it is. Change the status to completed, and then update go slightly right. Update work item, and after this the process ends here. Okay, and I will say end, and I can give it some color. So what is the starting color we have given? The green one, right? So you can give something like that. It's up to you. Okay, so you can take your own time, and now you can see the process has been designed. You see the entire process has been designed. Do you see it? Now if I download this process, the high level process flow, so I'm going to file, export. Let's first download it as JPEG. Okay, let's see how it appears. Okay, it got downloaded. Let me open it. So you can see how your entire flow diagram has been captured now, and this all happened using the UiPath Task Capture. Now what we have done is we have designed the high level process flow. It's a complicated process flow, we have designed it. Now what is missing, tell me? Now the steps of each process, for example, search for WI4. Now the search for WI4 has few steps. Login has few steps. Login to Acme. Search for work item has got few screens, right? You have to, how do you search that? You don't know. Simply you said search for W4, but how do you search? You didn't tell it. So for that, what you do, you click on it and then click on actions here. See action. So click on any of the activity and ensure action is highlighted. Let's say here action is highlighted. Now I would like to start capturing it. So before start capturing it, I'll ensure the Acme page is there at the right place. So I'm back in the Acme system work item page. Let's go back to this particular activity where I'm saying search for WI4 work item, but I did not specify how you do it. So once you highlight, hit on actions and hit on start capture. Look at it, how nicely task capture is helping to design it. I'm going to click on start capture. And the very first thing I have to do is click on work item. This is one action. Okay. And then the next action is I have to search for WI4. So I'm going to hit on this arrow. And then I have to search for WI4 and then hit on this search icon. And then I have to retrieve this tax ID. Okay. So I just highlight it and I'm going to stop the recording. Now what happened now is I got some of the screens captured for me. So I'm going to click on this three dots. I'm going to click on edit action. And here the very first step is you click on work item. So let's give it a number. This is my first step. Okay. This is my first step. So once I do this, my second step here is where I am going to click on this button. Correct. Now the third step for me is I need to click on this search. The fourth step is for me is to retrieve the tax ID. Now the fifth step, I think it got duplicated. I'm going to remove it. Tax ID. Now here click on instead of saying click on tax ID, you can say retrieve or get. Retrieve tax ID. Similar way for all the action items, if they are not correct, you can update it. For example, here you clicked on the arrow. So you will say click on the arrow to look for WI4 in next page. Something like that. Okay. So you have written everything back to diagram. So what happened now is you are actually capturing the high level flow. At the same time, you are also capturing the steps for that high level flow. Getting it? So I'm capturing. So likewise, you can do it for all of the other items. You can start capturing for each of these items. That is one thing. The other thing, you also have certain BPMN elements. For example, decision box. Okay. So here in the decision box, what I'll do, I'll right click on it. And then not exactly here. Let me simply right click on any of the activity. And then I'm going to say attach border event. So I'm going to say, I'll show you the different icons that comes. So I'm going to say message. Okay. So this is how it appears. Let's say right click. I'm going to say message non-interrupting. See, there are a couple of icons that you can use. Then I'm going to click on timer. See how it is appearing. Hope you are able to see it. Okay. Timer. And then I'm going to right click on any of this and I'm going to say timer non-interrupting. Then I'm going to right click and I'm going to say error. Okay. So you see many different things are coming. Let's say error. I have to put some color to this. Let's say red. Okay. Or maybe this red. It's up to you. Let me select this. Okay. So I've selected something. So this indicates an error. So what I will do during my login, the error could happen. So what I will do, I'll simply make it more professional. I'll just keep it here. Okay. So business process. These are certain tools that you can use to make it look more efficient. Okay. Up to you. Let's say wherever you are sending an email, you can, let's say something, you can put these icons based on the need. Okay. Let's say take some times. So you keep a timer here. So something like that, you can make it appear more professional with having different icons at different places and making it more colorful or more professional how you need it. Okay, the many BPMN icons are available. So at the end, you can see how nicely we have designed a complete complex business process. And not only the business process, we also capture the screenshots. So for example, I want to capture the screenshot here. I told you, just right click, select this, click on actions and click on start capture and keep on adding. So these are high level steps, but inside that step there are many small steps, right? Search for WI for work item. So you have around 1 2 3 4 steps. So this is high level as is process, and you have many small steps inside that. So now I have designed a complex process. What I will do, file, import, export. I'm going to export as a Word. Okay, and give some name, complex business process. Author, I'll put my name, Rakesh Kumar. Hit on next. I'm going to select this design. You have a PDD. I'm going to hit on export, and I'm going to hit on save, and let's see what happens. Now open file. Okay, so this is how my PDD looks like. Complex business process. I've given the title. That's okay. It has all got everything else. Purpose, Rakesh Kumar, the name I have typed as author. It has came. As is process execution time 28.4 seconds. It has picked. Application used in the process. As is process map. High level as is process map. Okay. So if you see, this has taken the entire diagram what I have designed there. Okay, it has taken the entire diagram, so looks pretty good. And then okay, now let's scroll down. Process statistics, process 1, window 2, action 4, mouse click 4. See, I only did it for the first one, you remember, to fetch the WI4, but there are many steps. I only captured the screenshot only for the green one. Rest of the things I didn't do it. If I do it, definitely the number of counts of windows actions will be absolutely more, and the time also will be absolutely more. Okay, now window name, Acme System 1 dashboard, Google Chrome, Acme work item. Okay, these are the windows. Detailed as is process action. So you can see it has taken few screenshot. Click on work item. Then I said click on the arrow to look for WI for next page. Then I said I think I did not write anything for those action items, so it is blank. Retrieve tax ID. So all the steps that I have written, see how nicely it is coming with the estimated time frame. So this looks absolutely stunning, and you can imagine if it is a complex process, how nicely this task capture is going to document the PDD for you. This is absolutely stunning for me, and you can also start using this task capture for complex processes. So you get benefit of both the things. One is you can also use the capture option. You can also build a complex diagram on your own. So thanks for watching and listening to me so far. Please do comment and let me know, were you able to design this workflow on the task capture? If so, please do comment and do let me know in the comment section of the video. Thank you. Let's meet once again in our next content.